look, of anything when it comes to boundaries and all this stuff, like if anything, when you allow people to violate your boundaries, you're being mean to yourself. Or for those who are violating your boundaries, they're the ones being mean to you.
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I am your host, Jess Abraham, your favorite boundaries coach, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power, and it's time to embrace it. So, get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JoyfulStylez.com. Let's go, y'all. I'm super excited to get into this episode today, honey. But before we get into the episode, look, I want to remind each and every one of you who are listening to this right now and have not yet taken that boundaries quiz, take some time out today to take that boundaries quiz. The link for you is in the show notes. However, feel free to send me a text. Text me the word boundaries to 210-801-9153, and I'll get that sent right over to you. Also, for those of you who want the tea and want to shorten that learning curve, like right now, look, y'all, I have I'm spilling the tea, okay? I'm spilling the tea, and I've created the guide for you, 5 things about boundaries I wish I knew sooner, right? The link for you is in the show notes for that. But you can text me as well, right? Text me the word sooner to 210-801-9153, and I got you. I get it sent right over to you. Okay, y'all. Okay, look. Oh, I'm so ready, excited to get into this today. It's one of my favorite things, one of my favorite topics, one of my favorite way of living. Like, it's just, man, I love it. I love it. Some of you may have been a little confused coming in here, but I'm glad you're here, okay? Y'all see it both and. Okay? Both and. Some of you who are close enough to me already know, may already know where I'm going with this, because look, y'all, I'm telling you, I live in a both and world. I live in a both and world. Look, y'all, it doesn't need to be one or the other, etc., etc. I live in a both and world, y'all. Oh man, I want to get into it today. But it's like, before I really get into the meat of this episode, y'all, I want to really put this thing out there, right? Well, actually, now I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this first thing, because this is what I want to talk about first, right? So yeah, I want to let you know right now, because I've been living my life this way for a very long time, and I know it's possible, right? Both and. So one of the things I've noticed is that it's such a misconception just globally around uh, boundaries and being mean, right? There's this misconception, if you have boundaries, then you're a mean person. Oh, man. It couldn't be so far from the truth, y'all. It couldn't be so far from the truth. Now, there might be some people out there with boundaries and who are mean. That it doesn't mean it's mutually exclusive, like it's mutually um like it's the same. It's not the same, right? These things doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. So let me tell you, right? I want to let you know, right, that you can be, well, I say it like this: you can have boundaries and be a nice person. You can. You can have boundaries and be a nice person. You don't need to fall into these misconceptions of being mean and all these different things. Look, y'all, I'm gonna get into today. I'm gonna be a little bit more in the teaching bag today, because I got these definitions for you. Y'all, I really want you to really listen closely and hear this, because so often I see that people That's just us as people use certain terms and certain words and whatever else because other people done it, or we grew up learning it a certain way. That doesn't necessarily make it be what it is. It's right what we've known it to be. That doesn't, like, let's flip some things upside down, y'all. I want to really break this down for you. So, right, that misconception of being mean. Let me tell you what mean is, right? Definition, right? There's many definitions out there. Go ahead, Google it, do whatever you want. But look, mean, right? Come across. Mean is being unkind, spiteful, or unfair, vicious, or aggressive in behavior, right? This is what people really people believe when you have boundaries, you're mean, or you can't have boundaries and not be mean. But this is what mean means. Mean, be unkind, spiteful, or unfair, vicious, or aggressive in behavior. Now, come on, y'all. Come on. Like, before I even get into it, I want to get into it, but I'm going to slow myself down because I'm really want to be in my super teaching bag today, right? Now, listen, we're going to get into this unfair, right? Unfair, right? Because that's what it said, unkind, spiteful, or unfair. So, unfair, what does that mean? Unfair is not based on behaving according to the principles of equality and justice. Unkind, inconsiderate, or unreasonable. Ooh, this is what unfair means. Like, again, let's go back to the mean. Mean, unkind, spiteful, unfair, right? We're going to get into the unfair. Unfair means not based on or behaving according to the principles of equality and justice. It's unkind, inconsiderate, or unreasonable. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Look, I'm glad it was given to me this way to break it down to y'all, okay? Oh, man. What's that say, right? You got the unkind, inconsiderate, or unreasonable. Like, let me get into the unreasonable part, right? Unreasonable. Unreasonable is not guided by or based on good sense. It's beyond the limits of acceptability or fairness, right? Unreasonable, not guided by or based on good sense, beyond the beyond the limits of acceptability or fairness, right? Y'all, I'm jumping ahead, I'm getting ahead of myself. Look, y'all. Man, when I went and I was reading these definitions, I'm like, man, this is something. People think you're all of this when you have boundaries? What? This doesn't even make sense, right? These things aren't the same. They're not. They're not the same, y'all. It's not. Oh my gosh, they don't go together, right? They don't go together. They don't need to go together. It's not. You can have one without the other, okay? You can have boundaries and be a nice person, right? We'll get into nice and all that in a minute. But I want to just stay here for a second on mean, because people really believe that you're mean when you have boundaries. Y'all, I know. It's funny to me, y'all. It's funny to me, but I'm gonna stop the laughing. Well, maybe not so much. But I'm gonna get into it because look, y'all, when I read these definitions and I got into it and just kept diving, right, went down this rabbit hole, because I'm like, right, people really believe this. This is something. Interesting. And then I start to thinking, no, right, look, of anything when it comes to boundaries and all this stuff, like, if anything, when you allow people to violate your boundaries, you're being mean to yourself. Or for those who are violating your boundaries, they're the ones being mean to you, right? Go back to the definition, right? Start looking at the definition of the things. Listen, mean, unkind, spiteful, or unfair, vicious, or aggressive in behavior, right? When we get more into the unfair is not based on behaving according to the principles of equality and justice, right? Tell me how oof. Okay. Unkind, right? Right into the unfair again. Still a second part of unfair. Unkind, inconsiderate, or unreasonable. Now tell me if this doesn't sound like a person who's violating your boundaries. Don't worry, I'll wait. Tell me, right? This the thing is, ooh, thank you, Holy Spirit. What they're doing is, I'll say it like this in a nice way. I say it like this. No, matter of fact, I'll do it both ways, right? Both and world, right? There's people who are here doing reverse psychology, right? They're telling you you're mean because they're being mean, right? By violating your boundaries, right? Or there's some people that just being narcissistic out here. Like that's just what they do, right? Either one, right? They could be both. Both. I'm just saying, y'all think about this. They're saying you're the mean ones because you have boundaries. When in fact, based on the definition, the behavior that they're doing and partaking in and subjecting to you is really the mean behavior. I'm just saying that's really what the mean comes in at. They're trying to do this reverse psychology on you, y'all. I'm telling you, people want to get over on you as much as they can, right? Not those good people and good nature. We're gonna get into all that, right? Not those like specific people. You know, the people that's repeat offenders, they violating, like they don't even care, like they don't even respect you. Because if they did, you wouldn't even be in a situation with them, right? You wouldn't even be in a situation with them where they're constantly repeatedly offending, right? They're constantly not respecting your boundaries. You wouldn't even be in the situation if they really respect you. They're the mean ones. I'm just saying, right? Call it like it is, right? Don't just do something or say something based on what you've heard or maybe the way you grew up. And there's so many things I needed to reprogram in my mind. But I thank God that growing up, I just had this different mentality and just different. I was just different, and they would call me different, right? Y'all, no joke, no joke. I don't even know why they just dropped in my spirit, but I'm telling y'all, I've been so different since childhood. Y'all, my cousins and stuff, they used to joke and stuff because I talk different than they did and all these different things. It's like I just was different, and they want to joke about it, or they try to like, oh, say this, say that, like say certain words and different stuff because I didn't say it the way they did. Like, it's girl, oh child, it's a whole it's a whole thing. But I'm just telling y'all, look, I live in this both and world. I live in a both and world. Now, let me get into this. Now, on the flip side of things, I want to let you know, right? Like I said, you can. I promise you. This is the life I live. I promise you, you can have boundaries and be a nice person, right? So we're going to get into nice, right? Nice is pleasant in manner, good nature, kind, right? This is the definition of nice. Listen, I'm just saying, nice, pleasant in manner, good natured, kind. That's what the definition is. So we're gonna dive deep, right? Good natured, good natured and kind. Okay, what's good natured? Good natured, kind, friendly, having or showing a pleasant, kindly disposition. Look, y'all, I'm just saying, nice. You can have boundaries and be nice. Be a nice person, right? I promise you, y'all, when I'm telling people my boundaries, it's always nice and pleasant, pleasant in manner, good natured, and kind. Like it is like it don't need to be any other way. I said what I said. Period. I don't need to be nasty about it or anything of that sort. Like for what? My boundaries are my boundaries, right? My boundaries are my boundaries. Good natured, friendly, having or showing a pleasant, kindly disposition, right? This is the spot. This is how we going about this thing. It's kind, like y'all. You don't need to be mean and nasty to people. Or I want to just flip that because I just heard this in my spirit. Like for those of you who think is equals, is not right. If you think that's really what it is, like that's all. That's just, you know what? Yeah, that's just a mindset thing. There's some mindset shifting that must happen. And I get it because growing up and things, we were programmed a certain way to believe certain things, to talk a certain way, like to say certain sayings that really when not much thought behind it. Like I told y'all, words matter. Go check up that episode if you haven't. Words matter, right? But I'm just telling you, words, these words matter. People start calling you different things and saying different things. Look these words up. Like, cause some of you personally, I don't even accept it at all. Cause I know what I know, and I know what I know. Right? God knows ultimately. I come on, right? All God always knows my heart. And it's never malicious or vicious and all this other stuff. Child, ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I don't. I don't at all, y'all. And I'm telling you, look, now I want to mention this, and it might hurt some people's feelings, right? It might hurt your feelings, or it might hurt some people that you love feelings, or you might feel some type of way about it or whatever. But whatever, Okay. Now, some of the things, it's not all about how you put it out there, right? It's not like some of the things it is, but most of it is not all about that. It's really how people are receiving it, right? Whatever it is that you're saying or doing or whatever, like this is my boundaries, whatever. Now you tell people this and you putting these things in place. It's a person who is not healed, right? Or just used to playing the victim, right? They love that role. A person who are not healed or used to playing the victim, they're the ones going to take it some type of way. They're going to feel some type of way about what you said and what you're doing because you want to tell them how to respect you, right? You want to teach them how to treat you, right? I tell y'all all the time, teach you, you must teach people how to treat you. Period. Period. That's what it comes down to. But I'm just telling y'all, right? The person who's not healed, they want to play the victim, they're gonna hear it and take it a certain way. And that's on them, right? That's not your business. Now, a healed person, right? They want to receive that information. They're open to that information, whatever it is, and they want to be better. Typically, that's how it works. Y'all, I'm telling you, don't let people bamboozle you. Don't let people to um trick you into not having these boundaries and certain standards for your life because they want to place whatever their limitations on you, child. Okay, look, y'all, y'all. Look, okay, this my jam. This my jam, y'all. I live in a both and world. I can, man, there's so many ways I can go with this, but I wanna stick here and I'll let y'all know some of the little more different types of examples of how I live in a both and world and a few. But I'm gonna tell you, man, look, I'm telling you, because I hear it and I know this is the life I live. Look, you can be blunt and still care about people. You can. You can be blunt and still care about people. Now I know, statistically speaking, there's only about 12% of the people in the world like I am. Like, statistically speaking, right? With the personality that I have, about 12% of people in the world are this way, right? Who will, others would consider blunt and may try to associate mean and all that stuff in there. Like, whatevs. But you can be blunt and still care about people. I'm just telling y'all, ask any of the people I've helped, any of them, right? I may have a few of them on the episode. I've been on the podcast, but we'll get into that another time. I'm just saying, ask the people that I've helped, right? I'm just saying. I bet you they don't say I ain't care about them. They're in better positions now. I'm just saying. And it required me to be blunt in a lot of situations because sugarcoating is not necessarily gonna help. I'm telling you, you want the warm, fuzzy sugarcoating, whatever. Yeah, go talk to my wife. Don't come to me, please. Don't come to me because I'm gonna tell you because what I want to do is free you up. And sometimes, a lot of times, all that cuddly and fluffy and things, that's not necessarily gonna cut it. Okay? And I'm gonna do, I promise you. And when I'm being blunt and I'm showing you that I care, I'm gonna do it with all the love and care. I'm telling you, right? We're gonna set you straight and hug you at the same time. I'm just telling you. You can, okay? You can be both. I'm just saying. All right? Look, y'all, before I get into something that's whatever, like whatever with y'all, I want to give some more real life practical examples. Maybe some of you don't relate to being blunt because you associated with it having certain boundaries and being mean and all these different things, and right. And while you taking some time to let that marinate, like I'm just gonna tell you like some of the things like just in life that I do, right? Life, just life. Now, again, I told you I live in a both and world. It's not just about this, right? So there's times my wife and I we go to restaurants and things of that sort, and we like, want to try certain things, right? We don't just necessarily need to pick one appetizer. Maybe we don't just want this. We want this and that. So we get both. Right? Both and why do we need to choose? We don't. Right now, if this particular place is out of our budget or something, we shouldn't be there in the first place. That's a totally different conversation. So I'm saying we're here. We can do this. So why you can get whatever we want. If we want 2 entrees, maybe you want the lobster and the steak, get both. You want the lobster with the scallops and the steak, get it. Both things. Like who said you need to choose? We don't. Both and world, y'all. This is the life I live. This is the life. I'm just saying, y'all. And I'm telling you, people close enough to me, or who have certain access to me, they'll tell you. I'm sure they can attest. I'm not just here making some stuff up. I promise you. No, that's not going to satisfy me or help anybody. I'm just saying I need to make some stuff up. This is my real life, y'all. Right? This is real life. Both and y'all, and I want to tell you, I want to like really, I'm gonna get out of here. I want to put this out there and I let you all know, like, man, because the as I've been working with people over the years, and one of the things I really, really noticed is that when people started to believe, right? One reason they're lacking their boundaries and things of this sort, people really started to believe and internalize that if they stand up for themselves, they can't feel good about it. Like they won't feel good. Like, oh, or it's not possible to feel it's not possible at all to just feel good about yourself or feel good about what you did, right? So that's when I know I work with people, I promise you, y'all, it both and you can stand up for yourself and feel good about it. You can. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Again, ask the people I've worked with, ask the people I've helped, ask the people who are on the other side of this thing now, how they feel. Ask them how they feel. They might have started off a little hesitant, like, oh no, if I did that, then this, and I'm gonna feel all icky inside. But I promise you, just work with me. You can and you will stand up for yourself and feel good about it. Period. For those of you who have taken time and work with me throughout the years, like appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm confident that there's some appreciation from me because of where you're at now in your life. Man, God is so good. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have been a blessing in your life, right? Now, those of you who want to get there, right? You really do want to stand up for yourself and feel good about it. Like there's no playing games here, okay? Like there is not. No, don't get it twisted. We'll have some fun because what's life without fun? I'm just saying. But look, y'all, you want to stand up for yourself and feel good about it? Come connect with me, right? You want to really go to the next level? I'm telling you, apply to work with me. Work with me 101 to apply to work with me 101, right? Go to jasabraham.com/apply. That's JASABRAHAM.com/APPLY. Okay, /apply. Oh, that link for you is in the show note. You could just click the link in the show note that say work with me. Right? Just click that link and go through that process, and we can get you going, right? Get you all the way together and do it with a hug. I promise you. Okay. And those of you who not, maybe not so ready to work with me one-on-one yet, then just join the Boundaries and More community, right? We have a community building. You can still get some one-on-one time and access to me that way. It's just in a different capacity. Go to the link in the show notes of community, or go to the website community.boundariesandmore.com. Join the community, right? You still get that. You get some time there, but it's just a different level of intensity when you're working with me one-on-one, or we're in a group setting and things of that sort. But you will get that interaction for sure. Man, y'all, I'm excited. Both and both and y'all. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here because yeah, I can keep going. But I just want y'all to just let that marinate. Think about it, right? Who's mean now? Who's really the mean one? I'm just saying. You in here, like, rewind, play this episode over, get those definitions, or just Google it yourself. Like, I ain't make these up. Right? Google it. Get these definitions and look them up for yourself. Read it with your own eyes. And really put yourself in that position. Who is really the mean one? So look, y'all, look, I'm telling you, look, you can have boundaries and be a nice person. I promise you. I promise you. All right. So look, y'all, take some time out today to follow us on Instagram. That's at Boundaries and More Podcast. Again, on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Look, y'all, I want you to take some time out today. Today. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Today. Today is the day. Take some time today to have an amazingly beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your week and be back here next week for more Boundaries and More with Jas Abraham. Talk to y'all then.